A top South African cop, Major General Feroz Khan of Crime Intelligence, and a tobacco kingpin plotted against Tax Justice SA founder Yusuf Abramjee. He is with us now. Welcome, Yusuf.
Hello, thank you, Chris.
Yusuf, this has emerged in court papers before the Madlanga Commission. Please share with our viewers exactly what was said between the two on WhatsApp.
Let me go a step back. You're correct, Chris. These documents were revealed in a 750-page bundle released by the Madlanga Commission this week. And many of those affidavits were submitted to the High Court because Major General Feroz Khan, who was second or third in charge of crime intelligence, brought an urgent application after police seized his devices as well as an iPad from his house in Houghton. He then tried to silence the commission by not allowing them access to the devices and wanted them returned. But when the commission got the devices from the police, it appears they downloaded the chats and the data, and that is where all these explosive revelations emerged. He then withdrew the court case. So in this 750-page bundle, there are affidavits from evidence leaders at the Madlanga Commission and investigators, and they highlight some of the chats between Major General Feroz Khan and the likes of Mohamed Sayed, who's the COO of Kalinings. They're the same company where Adriano Massotti is a director. Very controversial company, as you well know. And in these chats, a number of issues emerge. And at one stage in 2023, the two of them were talking. They took a tax justice statement, a press statement that Mohamed Sayed shared with Feroz Khan, in which we criticized Kalinings and we questioned some of their products which were flooded on the illicit market. And he uses words to the effect, and excuse the language, I'm just quoting from the court papers, Yusuf Abramjee needs to be fucked up, brew, unquote. General Khan replies and he says, I agree, he needs to be fucked up. And so the conversation continues. And at one stage, Mohamed Sayed also uses a very insulting term against me, the P word, which shows that these people were clearly upset and angered at our continued fight against the illicit trade, specifically mentioning them. And I must say, it's very worrying. It just again shows how these people involved in the illicit trade can go to try to intimidate people, to try to even do dangerous actions on people. And clearly, I will not be silenced. Yes, I do receive death threats, but this is a confirmation how these people behave and how they act. But being a top cop in the South African Police Service makes it even more worrying.
Indeed, what do these revelations confirm?
Well, the revelations confirm that Mohamed Sayed and Feroz Khan conspired in trying to attack their opposition in the tobacco industry. He told Khan to get the cops to go and raid certain premises and certain factories. He then sent him at one stage to check on the Botswana border, Komatipoort, and also some of the other opposition products that people were selling. And I'm told that Vianre Pretorius, the cop who took his, or rather the crime intelligence operative who I believe was a friend of Khan, who took his own life. He was linked to the murder of Marius van der Merwe, witness D. He was responsible for many of the seizures. And even Khan, we see in some of the chats, was sharing some sensitive police information with Mohamed Sayed. So clearly they were in cahoots to work and to try to rid the opposition, but also where at one stage Mohamed Sayed during COVID asked him to get a contract regarding one or other police equipment or to secure a tender. They then spoke to a General Fani, the head of procurement, who by the way has been suspended from the police. His name has come up repeatedly. They also talk about another few issues. For example, the former city manager of Ekurhuleni, Mashazi, and she flew to London on a 3.2 million rand or something cost. It appears now that that money came from one of Mossade's aviation companies. They also were talking to Julius Malema. Mohamed Sayed Khan gave him a number of questions to ask in Parliament. It appears targeting the then Inspector General of Intelligence. Khan also, it emerges from these chats, wanted some information of the VBS curator, and he then got the information for Julius Malema, sensitive and confidential information and telephone number of the curator and the name and so on. So clearly a very worrying relationship between General Khan and other people, including Mohamed Sayed. And yes, I've been very vocal, Chris, as you well know, about the illicit trade, the extent that these people will go. You might remember years ago, Go Leaf Tobacco Corporation, GLTC summoned me for 40 million rand for saying their products were illicit. The matter went to the High Court. It was struck from the roll. And so it continues.
This is just the latest in attempts to silence you, Yusuf. What message do you have for the general and the kingpin?
I hope these people are brought to book. They need to be held accountable. And we know that General Khan has been subpoenaed to appear before the commission on the 1st of July. And I'm sure that he will come clean. He has to come clean because we cannot allow this lawlessness. We cannot allow this collusion. We cannot allow this intimidation to continue. And people in so-called uniform who are involved with these people is a really worrying trend. You cannot be a policeman and a politician. You cannot be a policeman and a criminal. And really, I think the revelations of the Madlanga Commission again show how rotten our criminal justice system is. I've said it before, Chris, and I'll repeat it. I believe it's only the tip of the iceberg. We have a major problem within the police service and also other arms of the criminal justice system. And we need to make sure that the recommendations and the suggestions coming out of the Madlanga Commission are implemented. We know almost 28, 30 senior cops have been arrested on various charges, from defeating the ends of justice to corruption to collusion. We know the likes of Vusiket Matlala was working with these cops. So we really need to see swift action in bringing these people to book.
Indeed. Thank you. That was Yusuf Abramjee speaking to Biz News. I'm Chris Steyn. Thank you, Yusuf.
Thank you.
In uncertain times, good information is priceless. The Biz News Conference is heading back to the Drakensberg. Join me, Alec Hogg, from the 11th to the 14th of August for BNC 9, Champagne Sports Resort, where it all began, and where our community gathers for honest conversations, smart investing insights, and direct access to some of South Africa's sharpest minds. Come and rub shoulders with the best we've got. 28 keynote speakers, 3 days. Seats are available now. Book your seat by clicking the link in the description. Start your day a step ahead. Biz News Insider. It delivers the business stories that matter every morning straight to your inbox. Sharp, fast, and free. Subscribe now.